Bean just woke me up like the meanie she is.
Classic, timeless. I truly think that you would have slept through it, though.
No,
I
you
don't think.
were absolutely correct to wake me up. You are an angel.
Yeah,
You are
good.
an angel. Don't you believe my lies?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know, I was a little sus about it. Because I didn't hear from you all day. I texted you this morning. I'm like, good morning, and nothing. I'm like, oh shit, he's sleeping. Like, but he'll wake up in time. Like, I know he didn't forget.
I went to the gym. I did not forget. I went to the gym as usual. I came home, shower, and I was like, oh my god, someone is. I heard the funny thing is, I was dreaming and I heard that you texting, and I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I still have time. Just 5 more minutes. And then you called, and that was like, oh my god, I fucked up. I
Yeah.
like immediately, but you were such an angel. Such an
Yeah.
angel
I
waking
let it
me up.
slide for quite a while, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna just like wake you up hours beforehand, but it was like down to 45 minutes and I was like, okay, it's time.
It's
And
time.
we're actually 20 minutes late to starting because well,
It wasn't our fault. We had technical difficulties.
we did,
We did have technical difficulties. So,
but it's
Bean,
better now. Yeah.
you got around a year of your morning routine and it's gonna be gone!
Yeah, every
Unless it's.
morning I wake up, I scroll TikTok for hours at a time, and then I get up and I start my day. It's like my
Rollover.
morning ritual. Rollover, hello.
It doesn't affect me as much as you. My wife was like, thanks God we are not living in the US. My wife
Yeah,
uses TikTok. I think as ritualistically as you.
because she's a sophisticated woman with class and style. I love her.
And I'm not a sophisticated woman with class and style. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Anyway, so what's going on here? Do you have $50 billion?
I mean, if a bunch of Americans did pitch in and we just divided it amongst, like, what's the math there? Let's do some math.
Okay, so $50 billion is $50,000 million. What would be? Okay, let's. I'm gonna Google it up. Estimated US users of TikTok. Okay. So I would say it says 148.92 million US users, right? So let's pull up the calculator. I would say it's 150 million, right? So let's say 50,000 divided by 150. Okay, Bean. That's not too bad.
What did you
That's
come up with?
You need only 300. Wait. So it's 50,000 divided by 150. Yeah, 333 million you need
Each?
each.
Yeah. That's just pocket change.
It's. I'm
Okay.
telling you, it's $50 billion. So as long as all of you can cough up, and it's I calculated with 150 million. It's a tiny bit less, so let's say it's 335 million each. Come on, easy. Just buy it.
Yeah, okay, so
Citizens
that's
of
out.
the
I think
US unite.
don't you think it's a little suspicious that right after election time is when the timer is set for them to sell?
You mean before election time, or was it already an election? Is it Trump who's the
Um,
president now?
no, we still have Biden.
Okay. Okay. There's one thing that strikes me about Biden, and I don't know if it's true or it was like those fake news that the Trump media pushed on my feeds. Is it true that he shit himself at a US army base after eating some pizza? If that is true, that person should not make decisions when it's coming to tech.
No, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Anybody can get online and say anything at any time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Let's say he didn't. I don't think it's still a very smart move on his part. I don't think he's gonna be very popular with that decision right before election time. As much as he wants to control all aspect of the media, I don't think that was a smart move.
Certainly not.
Did you hear anything about like protests that will go on? Like, will the youngs of the United States will storm Washington D.C. in an organized manner? And by manner, I mean manure. If you remember the French, when they
No,
were unhappy.
no, I think with the outrage, it's been a really good strategy for the way the government's done this TikTok ban because they keep rolling it out in sections. So, like, the first time they were talking about banning TikTok, I think was 2020, back when Trump was president. And, like, people were really upset about it, obviously, for many different reasons. But, you know, it kind of, like, fell over time. And then it's, like, the next effort, you know, a couple years later, now we're dealing with this again. And what was it, about 6 months ago, probably not even 6 months ago, was when they first proposed the bill, and then now it's finally just been like voted and signed by our president. So it's like this trickle effect. Like it's hard for people, especially someone like me who has severe ADHD, to stay upset about something for that long.
Yeah, I understand that. I was thinking about one thing quite seriously though. Um, the main reason they don't like the Chinese government because they are communists, right? And this
Right.
company might sell the stolen data not to the US government but to the Chinese government. And I understand the fear of that. But the main issue here that the government doesn't have problem with companies stealing your datas. The the government has problem is that they are looking for a wrong buyer here. And that is seriously fucked up. They have no problem when Google steals your data. And Google steals your data in a very cruel manner with those cookies, bro. Those cookies that you accept and you have to accept, they follow you for years if you don't clear your cache. You know what I mean? Like, Google master spying on people.
Yeah. I mean,
Facebook.
we've talked about this before. The Chinese don't need TikTok to steal data about Americans, though.
Absolutely not. No, no, they don't. No. And I'm telling you, they don't need to send a fucking balloon to spy on America as well.
The weather balloon. Yeah, that was so wild. Yeah. It's not TikTok that we should be worried about. I don't know. This is just wild times. I mean, there's so many different reasons for what the real motive for the ban of TikTok is.
I mean, didn't YouTube just started the short tube videos?
Yeah.
And
They obviously knew about it because they were rolling out the welcome map before this stuff was even finalized.
is it
They
a
knew.
welcome mat or is it related in a way that Google said, hey, we are gonna do this? So how about you kick them out? We got this covered. They're not gonna be so pissed. They're just gonna come over to my platform. I'm a US platform. I'm selling you all the data you want. They don't. They're selling it to the Chinese government. So how about you TikTok out? Because if you really think about it, the only thing YouTube did is starting to give more money for people who did shorts. That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't really have any other plan than just providing a platform or anything, and it didn't become as big as TikTok at all. So I think they tried it, they lose it, and now maybe Google was like, hey, it's our best interest if you do this for us, Mr. President. And Biden was like, I don't even know what is a short video, to be fair with you, so why not?
So why not?
Why not do this?
TikTok offers that other apps don't. And it's not going to be a good thing for these people that have built up, careers or businesses on TikTok, having to now swap and try to rebuild their platform, on other apps. It's going to be like really detrimental.
It can also hurt businesses if you just think about it. If you just advertise your business, like let's say you are a chef in your own restaurant and you put up, little shorts how you cook the meals and shit. It's just an idea. I'm not saying it's someone did that, but I don't know. And suddenly your platform is gone, and you need to find a new way to reconnect with the same people in the same manner to support your business, so they would return to your service. It's kind of fucked up. It's gonna hurt everybody on some level. Everybody, even me, because my wife, when she's not using TikTok, she wants to talk. So it will even affect my. Oh, it's not because
it won't, because you're in Canada.
Yeah,
you just get to have that.
Yeah.
The
But if I would be in the US, it would affect my life. That's my point. Like, even if you don't use TikTok, but your partner uses TikTok, when she's not gonna be on TikTok, she wants to be with you. There, you are affected. Thanks to mine.
So should we get into the nitty-gritty of why? These are some of my theories. It's a win-win, right? If they ban TikTok, there's so many things that not the American people, but the government and big industries will gain if TikTok does get banned.
Well, before we get there, I want to read one part of the article that I have, because this is so typical about every government in every world, and I think they should really stop doing this. So what it says, the measure was tucked into a bill providing foreign aid for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. The law stipulates that ByteDance must sell its stake in TikTok in 12 months under the threat of being shut down. But the thing is that you sign something that you know is gonna be like super unpopular, and you are just trying to hide it between papers. It's kind of like schoolish stupidity to me. Like, people will realize what you did there.
It's the go-to move. They love to package stuff in with other things, so it's like, yeah, well, this sucks, but we also did all this other stuff, so what's the problem here?
Yeah, but I don't like that they, just staple it the other laws and saying, oh, but I mainly signed for the Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan support, and it was just there, so I guess it goes. It's that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
So you cannot really say, why did you sign that law? Have you read the other part of the law? I'm supporting Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. What do you want from me? TikTok was there. Like, it couldn't be taken out. It was stapled together, kind of deal. It's just so...
Yeah, because the majority of American citizens don't want this TikTok ban. I think that there's a percentage of people that do. They maybe don't understand, like we talked about, that TikTok is not necessarily the mainstream of gathering American intel. So people don't understand that. So they're thinking oh yeah, that's bad shit. TikTok is spying on us. So they don't know enough to know that it's not a good thing. But I think the majority of Americans don't want this ban. They don't support this ban. I remember the first time they rolled this out. Am I still here? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You have a little bit of an interference with your mic, but I can still hear you.
But anyway, yeah, so I remember when this first happened, there was, people were spreading this, oh, here's where you can email your local, senators or, your local government and stuff, and let them know that you don't condone this and you don't support this, you don't want this. And I think that they got flooded with emails and calls, but they're actually, taking that into consideration. They don't give a fuck. You could have millions of people calling in and they just wouldn't care.
And that's the fucked up thing about that, because I can see millions of voters trying to reach their electorate, right? And they don't care about that. But when someone with billions of dollars like Google or Facebook or Apple would call, those calls are not gonna send on voicemail if you picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
There
Because
are
it's just this
certain emails they care about, and it's not
right.
ours, and that's seriously fucked up. That's why I say execute the government, every government.
Well, I don't
You
know
agree?
about that. I mean, I
You.
can't say we're not saying that on the
We are not
record.
saying that.
We're not saying
Obviously, I'm not
that.
saying we should kill people. I'm saying we should kill politicians. Come on. They are not people. But like, I'm just kidding. Don't you dare.
He's got
Oh
the
my
jokes,
God.
ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't want the Canadian FBI knocking on my door.
What is
No.
the Canadian FBI?
I think it's like a nicer version of like the US FBI. I don't even know what they called. It's the NFBI, nicer FBI.
Nice. I love that for you guys. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, the first time, now that we're talking about the FBI, this is something that I witnessed firsthand with my own eyes. I was a part of. Um, Obviously, people, like I said, don't want this. They like this form of communication that is TikTok. And when this was first proposed, I found a TikTok account that was like, "Hey, everybody, if this does get banned, like we want to be able to stay in touch in the way that we, have grown accustomed with the kind of like community that we do. Let's start our own grassroots, by the people for the people social media platform." I'm like, I love that. That's so awesome. The premise was that people would donate their time or whatever skills they have into making this happen. Sounds great, right? So there were, accountants who were helping with, the tax law and stuff like that. There were lawyers writing the legal paperwork and coders who were donating their time to develop this app, which was really awesome. They had a Discord and I joined it, and they had these little things called like town square meetings. And people would just get together and they would throw out ideas, and everybody would just have like these open discussions. It was awesome. I loved it. And then like one day there was a town hall meeting, and all of us got on the Discord call, and they were like, "Hey, something's going on. There's like some unsavory people on the Discord. I don't know how we got like infiltrated like this, but I think they're trying to start drama. Like something weird's happening. So we're gonna put this on hold until we figure out like what's going on." That was like the last I ever heard. And then I was like, man, I haven't like seen any posts or like notifications pop up for that Discord. So I went and checked my Discord list, and it was just gone. The Discord had been like deleted. So I go back to TikTok and I find their TikTok page, and there was like a post, and they were just like, yeah, like this got really out of control. And maybe in the future we can pursue this again, but for now we're gonna stop. And it just was such a climate change from like this, hey, like let's build a community, let's do this and make sure that people have this like place to be heard with their voices and their expression and community, to just not having that anymore, which I thought was very chilling.
And this is when you told me this story, you also mentioned an agency that I looked up, Pinkerton,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pull up their wiki page. And this is the first time I heard about them from you, and it literally gave me a chill on my spine when I was reading about them. Even the wiki page is like, kind of fucked up honest about them. But what was shocking to me, that it was established 74 years ago, in 1950. It's not like I thought it would have been established in, I don't know, in the 60s. Not in a 200, you know what I mean? It's almost 200 years old agency.
Yeah, multiple generations of, yeah, it's very suspicious to me too, because like I've read some stuff about them, and I mean, I don't know, I mean, stuff can be exaggerated all the time, but where basically like when something like this happens, whenever there's a whistleblower or somebody who stands to like oppose organizations at a higher level, basically the government or those corporations can hire this Pinkerton group, and they're they're used to like shake down people, to scare people, and there have even been situations where the Pinkertons have showed they've like made their presence known in a menacing kind of like harassment, borderline harassment kind of way, allegedly. I'm all saying this allegedly because I'm not saying this. I don't want them to show up at my house. But yeah, and so they escalate this like tension between whoever the person is that's speaking out against whatever. And there have been like cases where all of a sudden the Pinkertons had to use lethal force against this person, which is so suspicious to me. I mean, anytime somebody is like standing against the government, I just don't imagine them being out there just waving guns around. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's like naive. I mean, I think that they have a goal. They're going about it the right way. And I just can't imagine them just like going out there. And these people are like trained professionals. You know, a lot of cases they're retired military or retired police and stuff like that, which, you know how to de-escalate a situation. And it just almost seems like, and again, this is allegedly, I'm not saying this, other people have said this, almost like the Pinkertons escalate the situation so they can then assassinate someone and then claim that it was self-defense. So it's all just totally legal. Like, yep, I had to defend myself against this totally harmless, like, suburb mom who was trying to sue McDonald's for whatever. You know what I mean?
This one reminds me when you said some people are so naive about this. I know you haven't seen The Godfather. You know, The Godfather, the head of the mafia in the movie, and he had a divorce, and they reunite because of their children growing up, and they going on a family vacation, so they reunite, and the wife basically says that, because he became legit over the years, so he's like a legit business person now, and he says, you might be legit, but the US senators don't kill people. And the dude says, the Godfather says, like, now who is being the naive, Kate? Like, it's because basically, as you talk about this Pinkerton, I'm getting the feeling that it's basically a legalized mafia that is going on. It's basically government-operated legalized mafia services.
Yeah. Very suspicious, isn't it?
Absolutely, fogged up and shocking. And why aren't people because you guys know it's out there. You guys know this thing exists, and you guys okay with it though. Like, there's no.
I don't think I'm not okay with it.
Okay,
but like, realistically, what am I supposed to do?
Fucking, I don't know where they are located at. Storm their fucking building. Get away! Get out of our country. Pinkerton. It's all over. You had a good 174 years running.
Yeah, so we're just supposed to storm this agency who is, in so many examples, I'm not going to say gotten away with murder, but has had to act in self-defense, so we know that armed, trained, like I said, military and former police.
So where is the democracy part then? Because if we cannot, like, I'm sorry, how is democracy better than communism then? How is it better? Like, I just don't see how is it better. Like, we can vent in a stream like this and nobody comes and shut us down. That's the main difference between democracy and communism. Because if that's the main difference, we are living in a really sad world. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we have our freedom of speech, allegedly, even though we're now taking away TikTok, which is a form of freedom of speech and expression for people. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer to that. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know that, there are examples of cases like we talked about the octopus murders.
Oh
we talked about the Boeing whistleblower who just killed himself. I mean, I don't know that we really have a democracy in the sense of what that is actually supposed to mean anymore here in America. Because it's very suspicious to me when anybody, again, opposes a large corporation or a government or tries to expose any kind of corruption and they just end up dead. I mean, isn't that basically what you're describing with communism? Is that somebody shows up and fucking kills you because they don't like hearing what you have to say? I don't believe that the Boeing Air uh, whistleblower killed himself. It just doesn't
Oh,
make
of
sense.
course not. Of course
Like
not. How,
we can't
that one
we
is
can't
so
prove it.
we can't
You
prove, because how do you prove it, right? Like he wasn't executed in a way that, it's comical, like he stabbed himself 6 times in the back and jumped out of the building. He didn't
right.
die like that, because yeah, it's comic. It's horrifying, because which one is better then? Like, is it better when you know you are supposed to shut up? Or is it better when you don't know when you should shut up?
I think it's worse when you
Because
don't know. I mean, I don't like the idea of being lied to and having like this wool pulled over my eyes. I mean, either
I can't hear you if you keep talking. Either we may have some technical difficulties. Hello? Oh, my Discord stopped. Oh my god, guys. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm trying to see. Can you hear me? Okay, so you guys can hear me. Something is happening with our Discord connection, it seems. I'm just gonna shut it down. Hello? Hello, hello. Okay, so it's working. I don't know where it's been. I don't know what's going on, to be honest with y'all. But I think something is happening to our Discord. Maybe the government is shutting us down. Oh my god! What's happening? I didn't mean it. I love politicians. I love politicians. Don't shut us down.
Yeah, one thing that I found was very compelling, though, at least, and this may be
Bean,
a
you are
conspiracy
here?
theory.
Hello? Can you hear me?
You scared the shit out of me. I forgot. Forgot about you. Hi. What's going on?
I don't know what happened. Suddenly you just stopped. I
Well,
couldn't hear you at all. Could you hear me?
no,
You
you were
couldn't.
gone.
Oh my fucking god. The government is after me. I didn't mean to kill politicians. I didn't mean it.
I told you you can't be saying that stuff. The Pinkertons are gonna show up at your house.
No. What the fuck? So what you... Oh my god. Where were we? But I disappeared.
Oh.
Go back
Rollover-
there.
Rollover came over to my chat and was like, I can't hear Okay, Sweet Dreams. You were gone, dude.
I
Yeah,
was gone.
Texas are besties 100%.
Because I checked YouTube, and on YouTube I was still, people could hear me on YouTube. So I don't like this interference. To be
You got
honest.
banned.
Who?
You got banned for saying that shit.
Who?
So I was just about to start talking about and conspiracy theory this is, but the suppression of certain information on and the control that American apps have versus not being able to control that kind of stuff that you see on a Chinese app. And I don't know how much of this is like algorithm based, but the example that I have is I went to Instagram and I typed in France and it was baguettes and the Eiffel Tower and people on vacation. It was just all so lovely and picturesque. And then I went to TikTok and I typed in France and it was talking about, you know, the riots and the protests that they have because of that farming tax raise.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Rollover about it, and he said that could just be your algorithm because you watch a lot of anti-government shit on TikTok. So maybe that's why it's serving you that as opposed to when you go to Instagram, because I don't use Instagram a ton. So maybe like there's a little bit of bias there. I don't know. But I just think with the right intentions. Yeah.
I tell you why I disagree there. Because when you type in a search bar France, it should show you the Eiffel Tower as well. But it should prioritize the news as most recent as well. You know. You know what I mean? So if there's something like if something serious is happening somewhere and you know something is happening, you didn't just go to Instagram and was like, okay, I want like you didn't type the Eiffel Tower specifically. You typed in France. And something major is happening in France and Instagram is not showing it to you. I don't think it's purely algorithm based. It's algorithm based, but in a different manner. I do agree with you that they might not want you to see it firsthand from them from their platform.
Yeah. You know. Okay.
Whereas so TikTok doesn't give a fuck if it doesn't give a fuck if you are informed or not.
That does make sense, yeah. Lady said one thing to remember about protected free speech is that it protects your right not to be arrested by the government, but it doesn't guarantee the ability to say at any time. I would argue that banning TikTok isn't anti-First Amendment because people still have the avenue to post even if it's a lame like YouTube Shorts. And she says she teaches a course on this. This is so cool.
I'm not really thinking about the free speech aspect about when it comes, for me, it's the free market. The thing that strikes me most unnerving about this is, unless it is sold. Like, I'm sorry. Who the fuck are you to tell me to give up my possession? Just because you don't like me? Like, hello? Like, it's kind of like, tomorrow you got a new house. And tomorrow, I don't know, you are in Tennessee, right? The senator of Tennessee would knock on your door and he would say, well, I don't really like your political stance. Give up your house and move out. Sold it? Or it's kind of the same, I'm sorry. They have different political views. Hence, you are either out or you sell your possession. And this is not how a government should operate.
Well, I mean, they're packaging it as safety, though. It's not necessarily, like, based on what we actually, like, know, what is public, it's about the American safety, right? That's how they're blanketing this.
Oh, come on, because the Chinese government will take down the fucking... If you got... Okay, how weak the US became if the US is afraid that the Chinese will take them down via TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Guys, you guys have one of the strongest military in the world, and you guys are worried about TikTok? Like, who are you trying to shit here? Because I'm not eating this. Serve me a better pile of shit of flies. Hello? Yeah. This is so stinky.
Yeah, I mean, we can theorize on a lot of different things. It's just, yeah. That's how they're packaging it, so...
And imagine in 2026 or 2028, like, let's say TikTok is not banned, and in one day you guys wake up, and it's not the United States of America anymore, it's another Chinese territory. Like, you guys are China because of TikTok. And
we just wake up and all of our flags have been replaced with Chinese flags. It's like, God damn it, we should have banned TikTok!
Yeah, and
I fucking knew it!
You know those naysayers like, I've told you, it's either TikTok or our nation, and you guys chose TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels so stupid to me, and in my opinion, there's two main reasons why. One, they cannot control TikTok as they can control Google. Or, you know what? I would say they couldn't make the same backdoor deals with the TikTok CEO as they did with Google, Facebook, and Apple.
Well,
and that's why it's getting shut down.
Yeah, because going back to the thing that I was talking about, the grassroots social media company that had the Discord, Discord's gonna snitch. Like, if they see some suspicious behavior, they're gonna run right to the government, and they're gonna talk about it. They're gonna, like, snitch on people. And there's a lot to be said about having to report and follow those US laws versus... You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say here? I don't know. I'm not doing a good job explaining it, but...
No, you did an excellent job, and I want to take it a little bit even more down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
If you allow me. So, all these things really started with 9/11. All of this. When people started to giving up their rights for safety. That's when it started, with the airport shit. You know, 9/11 happened, and people were like, okay, maybe we don't need as much rights, and maybe we should give some rights for the government to monitor us more for our own safety. And I think we reached the point when it completely got out of control. Right.
So... I don't know if you've heard of or read the shock doctrine, and that's basically what you're saying. It's where the government capitalizes on these, like, scary situations. So 9/11 was so shocking and horrific. I'm not taking away from... I mean, it was awful.
It was horrible. No,
it was such a good opportunity to then roll out all of these new rules and restrictions that maybe Americans necessarily wouldn't have been as psyched
You
about.
guys wouldn't be okay with it without the 9/11. You guys would have said to the government, go fuck off.
Right.
But 9/11 happened, and you guys, the scaring tactic that they used there was masterfully executed. And I'm not saying that it was a government up or anything like that, because I honestly don't know. But the way they used 9/11 to take away basic rights of privacy was really, really scary. And now it's not even a secret anymore. Because if you remember the early 2000s, they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna, monitor some emails and shit like that. And now you are aware that everything you do on the internet is in a file somewhere.
Yeah.
You are aware, and you cannot fucking do anything about it. You just accepted it because it didn't happen all at once. It happened step by step, and there was always the fear of 9/11 from one generation behind us, because I wasn't really scared after 9/11. Neither were you, because we were kids, right? But that generation
I was scared.
shocked. Okay, you were scared, but you know what? You weren't scared in a manner as an adult. You were scared as a kid. And they were okay giving up slowly more and more because they remembered 9/11. And we reached the point when it's like not even a secret anymore. Everybody knows that all those big data companies are selling your stuff to the government. And we became immunized to get shocked by this, because it happened step by step, little by little, and now we are in a situation when the government says to a company, you either sell your company or you get out of the country. And there are people who are actually okay with this, when America was built on the fucking idea of free market.
Yeah.
It's so scary to me.
So, do you think... Okay, we've talked about this like in passing about the Chinese spy weather balloon, whatever. Do you think that was like orchestrated as a scare tactic to then now start crafting this, the Chinese is trying to spy on us? Because if it were truly like a spy balloon, why would they let it get so far? Like, because like you said, to your point, you said we have like some of the best defense, some of the best military in the world. But we let this balloon get... I remember some that got right over or near military bases. Like, how would we even let that get as far as it did?
Because it wasn't a spy balloon. That's why. It's that simple.
Well, I mean, it was a weather balloon. Yeah. But then all of the conspiracy theorists start to latch onto it.
Okay. Just think about this being. We have literally equipment up in the sky that can check out a fucking coin on the ground.
Yeah.
And read what's on the coin, what year it was minted.
Right.
Do you think the Chinese need a fucking balloon?
No, you're misunderstanding. I don't think the Chinese need a balloon.
Oh yeah,
I don't think that.
People out there shouldn't believe it either.
Right, like they needed something like tangible to show people, you know what I mean? Because like it's different if you just say like, yeah, like the satellite's up in the sky, but to actually have something flying over the US that is caught on camera, that is televised in such a way, I don't know.
Do you remember when that happened, the Chinese balloon thing?
Yeah.
Could it be a build-up for putting fear into people's heart against the Chinese?
That's what I just said.
Yeah, you are leading us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was like it was the laying the groundwork to be like, those shifty Chinese people over here trying to spy with us with the balloons.
could it
Propaganda machine,
be? I
absolutely,
didn't
lady.
even connect those two dots, honestly.
I'm connecting dots. I'm
Oh my
connecting
god,
dots.
Bean! Oh my god, they use the fucking balloon to scare people when it comes to the Chinese government.
Right.
So they can pull something like this against the...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was laying the groundwork because then it's, oh, the Chinese government's spying on us and our data is not safe. Listen to this. Lady made another good point. She said, can you see my chat or do I have to read it to you?
Let me...
Thanks,
I
honey.
can't. What's the other
Okay,
thing?
she said, I think the scarier thing is the erosion of the Fourth Amendment. Look into the recent case law, for example. A court recently ruled that a cop can force you to use your thumbprint. I did actually hear about this too. This is so scary. Can force you to use your thumbprint to unlock your phone to find evidence. And just like totally skipping over a warrant.
I think searching your phone is even more private of a thing to do than searching your house now.
Yeah.
You know, your house search might not be as private as searching your phone, in my opinion. Like, I would be scared because I'm not gonna lie, there are like homemade porn on our...
Okay. Wow. I'm gonna kill you. But no, like, I mean, you were talking about, why don't you just go to the Pinkertons and kick them out, or why aren't people protesting? It's shit like this where they're literally putting these situations where the police can force you, which is why I saw a thing that were like, oh, if we're gonna protest, take off the face identification or the thumbprint identification to unlock your phone, because the police literally, like Lady said, can just force you to open your phone. I mean, I would just be like, if you have it where it's just passcode only, you can't. Like, they can't, you can just not answer. But they can literally hold up the phone to your face to unlock your phone.
And they
to
can
get
just
evidence
search
on you.
around your phone, and nobody's protesting against that. Wow. Again, I think it's a more private issue with me. Like, you can search our home, you're not gonna find anything. If you search my phone, you might find stuff that is very private.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be okay with it. I would be like, hey, hello? No.
I mean, it's just the principle of it. I mean, it's just your freedom being taken away. I mean, like, mine, there's nothing on there that they could use against me. Like, I'm not searching for anything crazy. It's just the principle that my home or my privacy should not be invaded in such a way. And they're just getting more and more, I don't know, like, emboldened to are not able to do anything about it. I mean, I don't know. No.
So, the police can just... That's crazy. Can you imagine they just stop you for speeding and they take your phone and just, I'm gonna read your messages. Like, what the fuck?
It would be really crazy if, people were talking about this kind of stuff, anti-government type stuff. And then you just need probable cause to pull somebody over, and then you're just, like, in their phone, and their emails.
Like, fucking speeding, or, just a regular pullover.
They can't do that.
Oh, they cannot just pull you over, right? It doesn't.
Lady said they can't do that. I thought I read somewhere that they could literally just, like, hold your phone up. Like, if you get, like, one thing that I had read, and again, it might be, like, fake information, so maybe I shouldn't be upset about it, but, like, if you go to a protest...
Yes?
You get arrested, they can confiscate your phone as evidence and just use your face to open it. And look through it.
That's another interesting thing. If you are protesting, why is it a thing that you may get arrested if you don't do anything? Like, you're just protesting. It's your right to protest. It shouldn't even be a question that you will get arrested. As long as you're not breaking and burning and, vandalizing shit, it shouldn't even be a matter of... I don't know. It's just crazy.
I just watched a thing where there's all these protests, like, at campuses, because of all the stuff that's going on with Palestine. And the police came in and arrested a bunch of students, and the staff is actually like, now we're gonna protest too, because they're peacefully protesting.
They were peacefully protesting, and they got, then. You know what?
Arrested. Yeah.
You know what? I don't think we have democracy at all. I think, nah, we are living in a we are living in a simulation of a democracy that is basically a communism. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. This is the hard realization, guys. You think you live in a democracy? No. No.
I stopped believing it.
When?
Yes.
When did you stop
Uh,
believing it?
so this is what I stopped believing it when I would see these cases about like whistleblowers and stuff that just all of a sudden committed suicide. I'm like, there is no way that you would go through all of that trouble and the public scrutiny, to stand up for something right and then just be like, I'm actually gonna kill myself. I'm like, hold on. That math is not mathing. Lady said that the students were peacefully protested and then herded to a public street, so they were blocking the public way, which was then considered to be a crime. This is so crazy. This is absolutely absurd.
Isn't that kind of funny that you need to notify the government that you are gonna protest? I never understood that. Isn't that the point of protesting, to make people's life a little bit more uncomfortable, to raise attention? Like, why the fuck do I need to notify anyone that we are you know what I mean?
You just show up and you protest.
You show up and you protest, and yes, people in the car are gonna be like fucking mad, but isn't that the point? Like, be mad with us. Hey, we are doing this for you. Join us. Like, the idea of protesting is that, in my opinion, raising attention by making the daily life a little bit more uncomfortable.
A little bit chaotic, a little bit
Exactly.
strained. Yeah.
So
But
I
But now people are protesting and they don't even get any traction. It doesn't get any news time. They just
unless
wait them out unless you set yourself on fire. That's the new trend that we're seeing here in the US is a third person to set
oh
themselves
my
on
god,
fire.
when you told that to me, I was like fucking losing it. I was
Yeah.
like fucking can you imagine the desperate, because those people are the people like us, being, they realize what's going on and they lost all hope. They just in a more depressed version of you and me. And
Yeah.
they, it's so seriously fucked up. It is so seriously fucked up. Because they still not gonna get any results. It's not gonna open millions of eyes that, hey, something is seriously wrong with this country, how the things go.
But
It's
I mean, something I think a lot of people know that the way that the US is structured right now, there's something seriously wrong. I mean, at almost every level, at our education and our prison system, the basic minimum wage, the cost of living. I mean, there's like so many issues with the US right now. But like what are people supposed to do realistically? Because yeah, you could protest, but like I said, they just wait you out because they know that these people have mortgages and car payments and they need to have their health insurance, so they can't quit their jobs to go and just protest indefinitely. They just wait people out. I mean, that's why things just keep getting worse, because they know that eventually you just have to roll over and give up on it.
Well, coming back to TikTok, you know what was the most shocking reason when they were interviewing the TikTok CEO? I don't know his name, guys, and I'm not even gonna look it up because probably I won't be able to pronounce it correctly. So they were interviewing him, and one of the senators said or asked, I don't know, that he was like, TikTok showing the US children things that make them more stupid, basically. Like, the TikTok is deliberately showing US children things that make them more stupid, while Chinese children use TikTok for education. And that was one of the reasons, like, that the Chinese government trying to make the next generation of the of the US is stupid. Basically, that was the accusation. Have you seen
Mm.
that one? It was like fucking hilarious. Like, the dude didn't even know how to respond to that. Like, I'm not like he wasn't in charge of what the children search up, you know?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, it's an algorithm that's going to serve you content based on the content that you watch. So, I mean, the issue probably is less with TikTok and more of your kid just watching stupid fucking shit on TikTok. Like, hello?
Yeah, I was literally flabbergasted because it was like, why the Chinese children use it for education? And I'm like, well, probably their parents, allows them to use it for that. And how is it the TikTok's fault? How it's not the app's fault how you use their platform. It's never the app's fault. You are in charge. You type anything in that search bar. And
You.
and to go
Starting
back to
something
your
to you.
Instagram feed, after you type anything in that search bar, they are in charge to show you the things that you searched for. And that should be monitored. That they are
Yeah.
not censoring what they show you. And the problem with TikTok, as far as I can see it, that they are not censoring what they will show you. That's the main issue here.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fucked up.
Look at this. I just sent you a clip. Pull this up on your stream also, but check this out.
Just 1 second.
We can watch this together because this actually made me kind of laugh a little bit too. This is our, these are our senators asking these questions, and to me, it just looks so foolish. Like the same thing that you said, them saying, it's making our children dumb because of
Okay.
the shit that they're seeing. Okay, tell me when you're gonna play, and I'll play it too.
Okay, 3.
Okay, I'm gonna count it. 3, 2, 1.
So, you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation
I'm
in
ask-
Singapore.
I-
No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two
Do
and a
you
half
ha-
years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's
Have you-
correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm
Okay.
Singaporean.
And then they later go on to ask him.
My God. Oh my fucking God!
It's so embarrassing.
The dude's face, how he's asking that questions, is
Like he thought he.
the facial expression on the dude. I'm asking the question and I know you are gonna lie, so I'm showing on my face, the anger that you are lying.
To me, it's this arrogance, like, "Oh, I got you now, motherfucker! Like, I'm gonna catch you." And the CEO of TikTok is just like, "No," like he just looks so baffled. It's so embarrassing.
Senator, I would have asked another question. Senator, is the real problem here that you think that I will sell the data to the Chinese, not you guys? Because we can make a backdoor deal as you guys wanted, and I just say no before. I would have voted him like that.
Yeah.
I honestly, since they already decided I'm out, I would go absolutely berserk on them, like fuck you.
Yeah, it's they proceed to I can't find the clip now. But they're like, "Oh, are you afraid of speaking out against the Chinese government in fear for your life?" And he's like, "No, I don't speak out against any politicians or any government agencies. Like I'm here to represent the company TikTok. Like I'm not here to speak out about the Chinese government. I'm not here to speak out against the US government." I just think he handled himself like with a little bit of that, like you said, a little bit of attitude and stuff, but it was so embarrassing for our Senate to be asking those kind of questions. Like they felt like they were doing something.
And I would have said, Senator, it may come as a shock to you. This app is not for political use mainly. This app is for everyday use, like what interests people. My job is not to try to swing left or right or try to convince people to be left or right. because I don't give a fuck. Senator, quite frankly, as long as they use my platform, you know, like, I don't care if they are left or right, and you should not care if they are left or right. Or what's the issue here, Senator? I don't think I wouldn't be a little bit more smug about this. Just a little bit.
It's a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point, lady. I forget sometimes.
What?
I forget. She said, think about the most average person you know. Think about their critical thinking skills, intelligence, etc. Now realize that half of the population is way dumber than that guy.
Oh my
It's
god.
true.
Oh my god, yeah.
One thing, speaking of like the political aspect of TikTok, I saw somebody make the point, what are the Democrats gonna do? So like the Republicans now coming into this like election season, I don't know why I do that sometimes.
Because it's a Shijan.
Shijan.
Stupid language. Stupid language.
We did that joke one time and now I just do it. Okay. You know, the Republicans have Fox News. Like all day, every day. Like people that are tuned into Fox News are tuned in like religiously. Like that's their shit. Awesome. Love that for you.
Honestly, okay, I have to come clean since you mentioned Fox News. If I cannot find anything to talk about in a show, I go to Fox News because I know there's gonna be some crazy, absolutely mind-blowing shit there. Like, if I'm completely out of material for you guys, my go-to is Fox News. I have to come clean because as bad as they are giving us so much as content creators, you know, like, if you cannot find any bullshit, go to Fox News. It's all bullshit.
Go to Fox News. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like, the Republicans have that as their way of, like, mainly reaching their personnel, their clientele, whatever you want to call it.
Do you remember the time when media was not left or right? It was...
No, I don't. I think that was before my time. But anyway, so without TikTok, what are the Democrats going to use for their campaigning? Like, what are they going to use to reach their audience?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Probably, I don't know. What?
I mean, there's CNN, but I don't think that people have, like, the level of dedication to CNN that the people have.
CNN is the other version. It's the other side of the magnet for bullshit. CNN, Fox News. If you want the truth, guys, what you should do, pull up the exact same news from CNN and Fox, read it, and when they correlate, that's the truth. It's gonna be very little, but basically, like, let's take a news, like, cop shot a person, and there will be two sides taking this news, and the truth is the cop shot someone. That's the truth, and everything else is bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's how you can get the truth, guys. Pull up a CNN article and a Fox article about the same thing, and where they overlap, that's the truth.
I like
and
that.
if there's nothing that overlaps, that means it's a complete lie.
Well, okay.
I'm telling you, try it one time. It's gonna shock you.
I will try it one time. You think I won't? I will.
I know you will. I know you will because you listen to me. Mwah.
So, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say. I think this was everything I wanted to say about it.
I mean, I got a little bit interrupted by Pinkerton here when I just disappeared, and I checked, my internet connection was perfect. Discord just stopped working, and I pulled up the stream on YouTube, and it was still going on. So I don't know what Pinkerton did to me during that period of time, but they should fucking stop, because you cannot silence me, Pinkerton. I have a bigger tone, so you don't want to test me.
I have a bigger ton.
Yeah, I don't know. Pinky, Pinker, I don't know. I was just going there.
Yeah, you were doing something.
I was doing something. Okay, so it's not a sweet dream now. It's okay. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Thanks for